I understand from the bar that nobody is drinking tonight. Is it true? We have allocated 85 bottles of Chivas, one for each flavor of Chivas tonight. We need more. Good evening, my name is Sandeep Arora, and it's my pleasure to invite you tonight on behalf of Puerto Rico and the Taj Mahal New Delhi to a very interesting and a very iconic evening to celebrate an award which is to be given to a few select bars in India. This award is essentially a gold signature award which is being placed at a very high category. Few months back, we were having a look at what's happening with hotels, with bars, with whiskies, and we felt that some of us were really having a good time at bars, and these bars were purveyors of past experiences to us, but they were not being gratified enough for the efforts that were being placed. We also felt that with so much happening around in food and beverage, some of these bars were feeling slightly lonely and possibly wanting to be hugged, caressed, and walked upon. So Chivas 18, which is one of the largest, the finest whiskey brands in the world, decided to create a standard of gold signature for bars in India. And we identified about 60 odd bars in India. And over a very discerning criteria laid out of nearly 2 months, we shortlisted 18 bars in the country, which would be given the Chivas 18 gold signature certification. The criteria are very, very discerning. We were to talk about the range of whiskies that the bars are offering. We talked about the glassware, the service design, the food pairing, the concept and the attitude of whiskey. Very, very importantly, a discerning standard on responsible drinking. And one very interesting criteria, which I personally take the responsibility for, which is a little skew towards blended whiskies. To be honest, blended Scotch whiskies. Because we felt that while single malts were the racier, the more discerning and the more elusive cousins in whiskey, blends were where the more romance was. Imagine what you're drinking tonight. The Chivas 18 has 22 rare malts and 85 distinctive flavors. And the Taj has laid out all these flavors there. And you can choose your whiskey and the cocktail tonight based on the flavor that you romance the most. So, to pay a tribute to the blended whiskey concept, we created this whole area, and 18 bars were identified. So 18 bars, 18-year-old whiskey, over 18 weeks, the journey will continue. Rick's at the Taj is not new to awards. In fact, Icons of Whiskey, which is the world's most premier whiskey awards as well, recognize Rick's as one of the best whiskey bars in the country. And currently it's a gold standard with Icons. With Chivas 18 recognizing this bar, it reiterates the fact that this is one of the most favorite bars in India. We also felt that to celebrate this occasion, we should do something very interesting. So we've laid out an 18-course tapas for you tonight. So 18 courses of tapas will come across, and each of these 18 courses have been married and had drawn inspiration from the 85 flavors. I have done the pairing, but I don't remember all 85 of them. But some of them would work very well. For example, what you're trying is the cranberry poached ruby prawns. Later, it would come down to scallops, Muscovite duck rago. There is a very interesting cocktail called the burnt match, which goes very well with the duck risotto. So you must try all of them. There are 85 cocktails. Anybody's tried more than 60 thus far? Not really? 55, 50? Cocktails remind me of this very interesting thought that I heard from somebody. A gentleman friend of mine, his mother wasn't really doing well, and finally she was not being able to sleep at night. He went to the doctor, and the doctor said, give her a nice shot of whiskey. The mother would drink whiskey, so he masked it in milk and made it a milky whiskey cocktail and gave it to her. The mother loved it and slept beautifully every night. The mornings were nice. It was springtime in the afternoon. Evenings were how you son. Fantastic. But until one day the mother